You are watching Sports Matters TV.
Okay, so welcome to Sports Matters TV. I'm joined by one of the greats of MMA. It's an absolute honour to have him on the phone with us today. Randy Couture, how's things with you, my friend?
Very good. Yeah, everything's very good. Finally, just happy to be home for a little bit.
That's good. And you're always keeping busy, no doubt. There's no stopping you at all.
Yeah, there's always something going on. If I'm not chasing an acting job, then I'm doing an appearance for my foundation for wounded veterans, or one of the few promotions out there that wants to hire me as a brand ambassador. So it's been a challenge, but it's been fun. Always fun.
We're all big fans in Ireland, as you probably know. We like to make a lot of noise, and we're all huge fans. So we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us. So we just have to start. Randy, how did you get involved in MMA first day? Was it back, through your army days, or did you actually start at a younger age?
Actually, I didn't start till later in life. I've been wrestling for the national team for the United States for a number of years, and was exposed to mixed martial arts like everybody else on television back in the 90s. Thought it was an intriguing and interesting sport, and back then it was a little bit different. You filled out an application and said you'd done this or done that, and would like to compete, and if you were lucky enough, they put you on a card, which is what happened with me. They called me up and said, hey, we have a spot to fill. Are you still interested in fighting? And I said, heck yeah, and ended up on a heavyweight tournament title, fight card in Augusta, Georgia for UFC 13. That was my very first fight.
97. Remember that so
well?
Yeah,
1997.
And does it feel like a long time now for you? Does it feel like, like it was yesterday, or does it feel that long?
Sometimes it feels like another life. But obviously 14 years is a long time to compete and fight at a high level, and obviously been retired now for 6 years, and I think I'm still as busy as I've ever been, and just not grinding out jumps and getting punched in the face much anymore.
That's a good thing, no doubt. And you went on to make history as an MMA fighter, like a 3-time UFC heavyweight champ, a 2-time light heavyweight champ. For you, what was it like to be a world champion and, no doubt accomplish, a goal in life?
Well, I think it's always very satisfying when you set a goal, when you set out to accomplish something and you manage to achieve it. I had some success in wrestling that same way, and I think in some ways that trained me or fashioned me to apply that same mindset and skill sets to fighting and have some success there. But I feel fortunate, and I felt honored to be able to be involved in the sport and to represent the sport in some ways as an athlete. I felt like it was kind of my calling, if you will, to be involved in an individual combative sport. It's something I've been doing since I was 10 years old. So to be recognized for it and to have been able to achieve some things in it has been a great journey.
We were happy to see that journey. We had so many great nights. In Ireland, obviously, the time difference is crazy, but many a night we'd stay up till 3, 4 a.m. to watch you walk to that ring and do the business. Some great memories, I must say, so thank you for that.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the support.
Now, we have to talk about one thing. UFC 118, it's when you fought James Toney. James, yeah, it was crazy. James was saying that he could beat basically any MMA fighter. Why not give him the best in of course, good old Randy. You took him apart in the first round, submitted him, and you put him in his place. What was it like, first of all, to do that and to put James in his place? And we'll have to talk about maybe the McGregor and Mayweather fight. Now, the tables are turned for Conor McGregor because he's going to box Floyd Mayweather. But do you think, first of all, does Conor have a chance? And what was it like to spank James Toney that first round?
Well, that's been the age-old question almost since I started fighting. Who would win, the boxer? Because obviously boxing is so popular and deeply entrenched in our society, and MMA has kind of been this new kid on the block, up-and-coming combative sport, and getting a lot more attention than boxing has been getting of recent. So when James kept throwing his hat in the ring and wanting to jump into MMA, I felt honored to get to represent MMA in that match. And I felt like it was really on James. How much could James learn in his 3 or 4 month training camp to get him up to speed with all the rules of engagement for a mixed martial arts encounter? And it was quite apparent that James hadn't really done his homework. He hadn't spent any time working on his ground game or being able to defend himself once this fight hit the ground, and it was over in pretty short order. Now, I wasn't silly enough to think that I was going to stand around and try to box or punch and strike with James Toney. I'd studied his tapes. I'd seen his shoulder roll and his hook and so many of the things that he did well, very well, as a top flight professional boxer. And I think this is the thing that Conor is up against. He's stepped into the boxing engagement. If it was an MMA engagement, I think that 9 times out of 10, Conor is going to win that against Floyd Mayweather or any other boxer out there in his weight class every single time. But this isn't an MMA engagement. It's a straight boxing engagement. Now, what I hope he does is that after he gets frustrated in the first round, he steps out and kicks Floyd Mayweather right in the damn head and knocks him out. That's what I hope he does. He just forgets where he's at and just kicks him right in the head. That would be awesome.
It could probably happen.
I think that he's in a straight boxing engagement. The best boxers in the world in the last 10 years haven't touched Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And it's a bit outlandish to think that Conor, as a very good striker and a top-notch mixed martial artist, is going to go out there and be able to touch Floyd in a boxing engagement. It's going to be a very tough bill to fill. I think because Conor is unorthodox, he's long. He's probably not going to do things that a normal top flight professional boxer is going to do. That makes him a bit unorthodox. It makes him, things are going to come a little bit different than Floyd's used to, and I think that gives Conor a bit of a chance, a puncher's chance, if you will. But chances are it's going to be a fairly long night for Conor in a straight boxing engagement. And again, I hope he just rears back and kicks him right in the face and ends it. It would be awesome. I will be on the floor laughing if he does that.
Hopefully we see something like that. We have to speak of your own gym as well, Extreme Couture. Any fighters that we should watch out for, Randy, coming through your stable? Because we're hearing great things, with the fighters you have. Anyone that we should watch out for the future?
We have a great group of young men and women that train here. I've been very impressed with Brad Tavares, who's fighting in the UFC, and Vinny Magdalenas has done a great job. He trains with us here as well. Both those guys in the light heavyweight division are very good athletes and doing a great job. Obviously, my son Ryan is doing well and fighting for Bellator. We have a strong women's program with Cheyenne and Emily, and obviously they're following Misha Tate's lead, and Misha comes in a lot and works with a lot of our women, and they're doing a great job as well. We just had Grace fight in the UFC, and it was a short notice fight. It didn't go her way, but she made a great showing for herself, and I'm sure that they'll take care of her and give her a full camp and give her a chance to get back in there. But we've got a great group here, and exciting for the momentum that Extreme Couture MMA is carrying right now.
We're going to continue to follow that journey. And just a last question. We've got a hardcore fan, Mark Sheehy. He's in Cork, Ireland. He's been a big fan of yours for so many years. He just said, were you ever tempted by big money offers from Pride? Did you find it hard, to reject the offers from Pride?
Well, at Pride's peak, they chased me a little bit and made me a pretty significant cash offer to come fight for them. But at that time, before the sport had kind of changed, I was still getting a lot of endorsements and a lot more marketability for my career by fighting in the United States. And I was very, very good friends with Dan Henderson, and he was predominantly fighting in Pride, and he wasn't getting a lot of those same marketing opportunities that I was getting at that time. So even though their money offer was good, in fact, it was a little bit better than what the UFC was paying me at that time. It was all the other stuff that I was able to wrangle and market myself in the United States market that made it more lucrative for me to stay in the U.S. market and keep fighting for the UFC. Now, obviously, they've changed the sport. They've made it more corporate. They've eliminated sponsorships and a lot of that ability for the athletes to develop those relationships in the U.S. market. But that's just how it is now.
No, we appreciate that. We're hoping to see Expendables 4 coming soon as well, because we love you in all them movies and stuff. So thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
You bet, man. We're supposed to start Expendables 4 filming here in August, and so far as I know, Toll Road isn't dead, so it'll be back.
Well, that's an exclusive. Well, we're glad to hear that because we're big fans. We're going to try and get out to you at some stage before the year's finished to say hello and get a look at the gym and stuff. We really appreciate you taking time, Randy, and greetings from Ireland. We're all big fans, so thank you.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.